Oh man, we got some live in this motherfucker. Hey, get live in this motherfucker. Hey, if I told one time we say, hey, who got the juice? I got the juice, baby. Who got the juice? I got the juice, baby. Who got the juice?
I've been had the juice, my boy. You asked for the boss and they sent for me. Analyze that.
Heavy-handed with the style, you see the sauce I'm dripping. 4 4s on 4 Vogues, bro, we stay tipping. 3 5 to the face, rolled it fresh out the zippy. Making mailbox money, R.I.P. to Nipsey. Sheesh, this cushion orange juice. Quality you gotta choose, my aura in a different spectrum. Super Saiyan, high altitudes, where you'll find my attitude. 10-4, yeah, I make vibes, I'm on my business. I'm never online acting a fool, or crying for attention, or begging for views. See, I'm a chill dude, but I'm a fly motherfucker. I'ma do what I do, wave, fly stepper, baby, watch how.
What up, what up? Black Sauce in the house. We got AC Delgado with us tonight.
How y'all doing?
What you up to, man?
Up to no good, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just like, just getting ready for a couple shows in Boise. That's in a couple days, and then we got our Summer Splash show coming up in like a month. So anybody in the area in Tragic Valley, show up. Burley, Idaho, 610. Yeah, quick plug.
Hell yeah.
July 20th. July 20th. All right.
July 20th. Hell yeah. Let's start off with let's get some bio about yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I'm. Do you want me to hold that or yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there like a safe zone? All right. Yeah, I'm AC Delgado. I was born in Rupert. Been in and out of Idaho my whole life, but yeah, I've just been here for like the last 10-15 years. Been making music for about that long. Yeah, and just generally, you know, a creator or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like graphic design, audio engineer. I did some videography here and there. I can still definitely edit, and yeah, that's just been me. You know what I'm saying? Just doing that. So yeah, that's me, bro.
Oh yeah.
Father, son, all that other fucking cliche shit. Did I swear on you?
Husband. Yeah. I mean, it's no, yeah. It's hard not to, you know what I mean? Because I'd rather you be your authentic self. Yeah, you know what I mean? We all cuss. Shit, okay. So, you said you were from Rupert, right? But prior to this, you were telling me you moved around the area too and traveled throughout America, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to give my whole, what do you call it? My whole history, but yeah, my dad's a trucker, my grandpas were truckers, I'm a trucker, you know what I'm saying, by day, a rapper by night, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, so we just moved around a lot. My dad found a company down there in Texas, in Far Texas, and it's in the Valle, and we got a bunch of family over there too, you know what I'm saying, and then yeah, that was like when I was real young, and then we came back up after my parents like split up the first time or the second time, whatever, you know. And then we moved to like Pasco, San Diego, Hermiston, and we'd always come here because my grandma, both my grandparents live here, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so like we'd always move back to like Eden or Murtaugh, and then like my other grandparents live in Burley, so yeah, just always in and out, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So throughout that whole time, I guess, when's the first time you're like, man, I'm gonna be a content creator, or I like making music, or when's the first time you remember as a kid or as an adult that you were like, yeah, that's for me?
Okay, so yeah, I grew up in the church. You know what I'm saying? I grew up like just always listening to my uncles. Man, they did this like mix of like Johnny Cash and like Mexican fusion, like church music. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. They got down. Like my uncle was on the bass, and when I say uncle, these are like my mom's cousins or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, they did that I since a youngin', bro. And I always see like the drummer play and stuff. Like, you know, I don't know. I'm just not real good with my hands or nothing, like, you know. But I was like, I would always see the drummer, I'd be like, I can do that. So that was like when I was real young, and then eventually when I would grow up, you know, through school, whatever. You know, learning about music. We were in a real musical household. But just like fast forwarding to like middle school, I found out about like, you know, like NWA, a little bit like Tech Nine, like Eminem, you know what I'm saying? And I always listened to it, whatever, but But like NWA was like a real turning point for me, and Biggie, where I was just like, holy shit, I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? And that was right around when my parents got they like divorced for real. And so I was just like, you know, I feel like I got pain, I got to let out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like cliche or whatever, but it's like this is I got to let it out. You know what I'm saying?
That
like,
was your outlet.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. So, and you know, we were short on cash, and you know, never poor, but always broke. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like always, my mom was working like 16-hour shifts and type shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, my dad hit me with the fucking "you're the man of the house now" bullshit, and I'm like 12, dog, and I'm like, fuck, man, I internalized that. So I was like, all right, you know, what can I do? I can't work, you know, in the state of Idaho. Back then it was 14, mm-hmm. you know, so I did end up getting a job at 14, but you know, I like the first like band I ever got was from music, where a little like I threw together a little EP, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of like covers and remixes. Mm-hmm. It's called the August 21st EP. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say where it's at. Y'all gotta find it. If y'all find it, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, I printed up 100 of those. I'm pretty sure I stole the pack of CDs from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? And then my grandma just had a bunch of alleged. Nah, man, I don't know statute of limitations, but my grandma, she ended up having the labels and shit because she was the secretary for the church. Yeah. So she would like make like. She'd record like sermons and shit, whatever, and then just make those songs. I stole those from her too, you know what I'm saying? And then I burned them all. Went to the Burley Fair, bro, and just I was like, hey, if you got $1, you got a couple bucks. And mind you, I'm like in the 9th grade or something, and yeah, I made my first G. You know what I'm saying? Damn. That's adjusted for inflation, so it was probably like realistically like $600-700. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and then inflation. You know what I'm saying?
So G now.
Yeah, G now. It's a G now. So I gave you know, like I said, my mom always like fucking hustling and shit, like, you know, going to work and shit. So I was like, you know, threw a couple $100 for like groceries and shit like that. Cause before that I was like stealing food and milk and shit. And, you know, we were in like fucking standing in bread lines and shit, you know what I'm saying? So that gave me my first taste of like, you know, getting it, you know? So, you know, gave her some money to like get a little bit ahead, you know what I'm saying? And I stashed away to get like a proper mic, a fucking, you know,
how did that feel?
It was fire, bro. I've been chasing that feeling since, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I got this song called Favorite Color Green. And the first lines are like, it was the music or the drugs. I was gonna be addicted to some, but I decided I don't want none. I'm in love with the funds, you know what I'm saying? And that's just like I've been like I never really like I know we'll get into it later, but I never really did like drugs or nothing like that. Never had too many hard vices. I've always been like had my head stuck in that fucking computer, bro, just going hard as hard as I can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was around that time.
Well, I guess we can touch on it right now. So I'm from the area as well, like over there in Burley area too.
Okay.
So back then we had a little store called Mercadito, but I know over there was a heavy, regardless of where you're at here in Idaho, like drugs is heavily around you, right?
Yeah.
So so you're saying already at that age you're like, all right, I can see the drugs, I can see the money. Which one is it for me? You know, yeah. At that age already, when you sold that first music, that's really like, fuck it, I'm going all in.
Because like back then there was like a real influx of like gangs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like the 2010s, and like I wasn't like jumped in or nothing, or even prospecting like that. But I would record for some of those guys too. You know what I'm saying? So like even then, it was just like I was only chilling with them for the money. Like they would just throw a couple bucks at me, like whatever, you know. So like even that, just engineering and just knowing how to do that. So like. I definitely see where if I didn't have music, who knows where I would have been. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And especially with and like drugs. I'm pretty immune to peer pressure just because like in church they just drilled it into us like you're gonna go to fucking hell if you like do any of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I still got some of that trauma back in my head, right? But like where was I going with that? You know.
So what else? You're not getting influenced.
Yeah, I wasn't like too influenced off of that, but still like with enough time and just like with me growing up and shit, and my mom trying to like juggle 3 kids and a fucking long ass job at the hospital, like I would have lost. You know what I'm saying? So well, not lost, but I would have given in. You know what I'm saying? So without music. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Damn. At that age, I wasn't even messing with music. So that's cool. So what? So you're saying what first introduced yourself? How you first got introduced to the music was when you were seeing your uncles go behind record in the church spot, right?
Right.
So that hits my other topic in the podcast too is the church part. What I guess do you follow any religion as of right now, or how has that influenced you as of now?
So just a quick history on my religious journey. You know, I would consider myself like back then like a true believer, Christian and stuff like that. But you know, after a while, it was just so strict. We would go all the time, and I was just like, you know what? I started learning about the Bible myself and learning history and stuff, and I was like full on atheist by the time I was like 17, and I was just like, nah, I ain't with it. But you know, I think everybody was always like, you know, when you have a kid, you know, life changes, and I think that changed me, bro. Because like when I first met my son, you know, like a couple months in, when he was maybe even like 6 months, I was like, man, I don't know, I just feel like something higher than me. You know what I'm saying? And so now I feel like the atheist shit is just kind of like, whatever. I'm kind of over it because I used to get in arguments and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But now I just feel like I'm a solid agnostic. Like I just don't know, and I think that's the most truest answer anybody can give without you know delusion. But that's just me. Yeah. If you got faith, I ain't trying to fight you. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. You know, do you? You know what I'm saying? Even if you're trying to like go out there and spread the word and shit, I used to get mad at people for that, but I'm just like, no, if you believe in something, cool, just do that. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not hurting anybody, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like now I'm just kind of apathetic to it, just like, you know, I don't know, but I'm for sure like agnostic. Like I can't say yes or no.
Okay. That's cool.
I hijacked your fucking special.
No, you're good. It's kind of hard with just one, so I'm actually saving up to get another the dual one because you can't. Well, as far as I haven't done heavy research on if you can buy a second one, but I'd rather just get the other one. That way I have three. Anyways, going back to the religious part, for me, same thing. I had it so heavily involved with me when I was a kid that as I grew up, I was like, I don't want to be any part of this anymore. But it's true, man. Once you like see your kids, it's like it's hard to deny that something else is out there. But it's like, you just don't know what it is.
Why do you ask about it on the show? Like, why do you? Oh my bad. Why do you ask? Like,
for me, why do I ask? It's because I just want to see if how uncomfortable somebody can get in the show, and because it's like a topic like that was for me. I don't know about for you. One of the topics you should never talk about is religion. But one of the topics you should never talk about is just like something that out of the norm, you know. Yeah. And it's
religion, politics, money.
And it's like, why not? You know, why not? For me, it's like, why not get another person's outlook on what they believe in and why they believe in it, and how do they base their life off of that? For me, I'm heavily Christ believer, but do I like read it every day, or do I go to a church? No, but I believe that He's out there, and that He has a plan for me. But what it is and how I find it it's on my own terms, you know. And I just want to see everybody's journey through how their experience is. You know, not only for myself but for others to go out there and be like, oh shit, you know, they're thinking about it too, or it's not uncommon to have religion and to be a part of your life, you know.
One thing I will say though, one thing I will say is like, you know, the more I like have, you know, a relationship with my kids and shit, you know, I look at like the Sikhs. I don't know if you know the Indian dudes with the turbans and shit, or Middle Eastern dudes. I don't know, my bad. But I look into their religion a lot, and I like fuck with it. You know what I'm saying?
I forget what it's called. What is it called?
There's my bad. Sikhs. There's Sikhs.
Yeah.
Sikhism.
I actually met one while I was in Twin Falls County.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, he was the.
What the hell was he doing in there, man? Shit.
So what he was doing in there was he was a trucker.
Oh, yeah. A lot of them were truckers.
So he was a trucker, and what happened was he was coming through Idaho, and he was going through Jackpot, and you know that curve that's like right after Jackpot and right before Idaho.
Sure.
It's like a heavy curve or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
He got in a wreck there, and he had the other vehicle had passed away.
Fuck.
Yeah. So it wasn't his fault, but it was his fault. You know what I mean?
when you're
It's complicated, you know.
Yeah.
So unfortunately he had to be in there, and man, yeah, I learned a lot about his religion, and it's pretty insane. It's pretty cool. They give back a lot.
Yeah, dude.
And
free what is it called? Free vegetarian kitchens that anybody can go to. Yeah, that's one thing. Like their humanitarian shit is cool. The fact that they gotta like they're mandated to carry like blades with them and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying, for just to be like to have it on them and shit. I think that's what they. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? But and then just they're like God is everything. God is like. The universe, it's like, you know, a rock or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of dope to me. I don't know if I believe it per se, you know, but that's more of like the deist angle that I do like if there was a God, to me he probably just made this shit and just left and was like, all right, you know, peace out, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'll see you on and shit you type shit. I that's what I kind of believe if I was to believe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just me.
yeah. Even with not just the Sikhs, I like the Buddhists. They have they have a good religion too. There's just a lot of different ones, and I like to just to like explore them. You know what I mean? Why not? You know, we only live this life once, and why not like explore everything we can? Yeah. You know, now that I'm not like not heavily into drugs like I used to be. I have more of a clean mind and a better outlook in life. You know what I mean? So that's my other why I asked my other things is like how is like drugs involved in your life, or has it been in part of your life? That to me is so that like if anybody's out there watching and they're like going through it or has gone through it. They're like, oh shit, that's somebody that used to be like me and now he's somewhere else.
So I can speak on drugs too. Is like the way that drugs are like a part of my life was my dad, bro. Like I said, he was a trucker. My grandpa's a trucker. On both sides, they were truckers and shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my cousins or whatever. So like back then, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot more like outlaw. You know what I'm saying? And so like they would my dad at least and his brothers and my grandpa, they were into some shit. You know what I'm saying? And my dad was a meth addict. You know, and I seen him fucking rough. Like bad, you know what I'm saying? I've seen him on his worst days, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really talk to him too much, but like, yeah, dog. So like, I seen a lot of that growing up. Yeah, he smoked weed, and he was like real heavy into alcohol too. You know what I'm saying? So he was always like crossing shit. You know, heavy smoker. Just the overall fucking bad guy. Luckily, he's gotten his shit straight, and you know he's doing better. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know.
Good for him.
Good for him, not for me. You know what I'm saying? Not for me, because I knew back when I needed it. You know what I'm saying? So that's also on top of the church shit, and on top of like just music keeping me out of it. I think that was another thing that was like that kept me out of it. You know what I'm saying? Just like learning by example, and that's not to be like, oh, I'm better than I don't fucking whatever, dude. I don't fucking care. Like. I'm like 280 pounds, bro. I got my vice. I eat like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So. You know, but like my dad was in prison, and I just seen like, you know, the most time I've ever done in jail was 16 hours, and I was like, I'm straight, I'm cool, you know. So the only thing I could think about when I was in jail was like, man, I wish I had my computer so I could make a beat, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was real heavy. Like he was moving a bunch, and you know he was doing a bunch. So, like that aspect is really like kept me away. You know, but I'm also able to empathize. I feel like I'm also able to empathize, you know, when I see somebody going through that, because I'm like, you know, damn, bro, that fucking sucks. Like for your kids too, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you like it's real destructive, you know. So I try not to be like some of the these fucking hyper conservatives that are like that have no empathy towards anybody or whatever, because it's like, bro, you're really kicking them when they're down. Like, it's already destructive. What you need, what I feel like they need is like help. You know, 1 time, 2 times, 100 times. You know, I think they need it.
Yeah.
You know, for me, maybe not. But you know, if there's resources out there, they should. I think they should be available. You know, so yeah, that's my experience with drugs. No, you know, I'm just stop right there. Yeah.
No, and it's strange that that we went different paths, because I too was it wasn't my dad, but it was my mom that was heavily into meth, and that's where I picked it up from, and seeing it around the people that she was hanging around with, and instead of and it wasn't only just my mom, it was like multiple people in my family.
Yeah, bro, that shit was bad.
So it was everywhere. It was everywhere here in Idaho, and it was like wildfire. And if you weren't doing that, you were smoking weed, and it was just a common thing. But for me, I've gone through AA, I've gone through a bunch of recoveries, and it's like, why am I not hearing this out anywhere else? You know what I mean? Why is everybody so afraid to let their story out? You know what I mean? So this is my anti-AA kind of outlet. You know what I mean? That's why I touch it on too, because how are we gonna get better if nobody ever is like, yeah, I used to be addicted to drugs, but now I'm addicted to making money.
Well, it's,
you know what I mean?
It's embarrassing. To at least because if somebody would have been like, oh, your dad's a meth head, all right, we're gonna scrap now. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't fucking tell me that. You know, but as I grow up, it's like my dad went through a lot of shit that, you know, he had pain, and that was a way of making money and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not saying I understand it, but I understand like maybe how he got there. You know what I'm saying? So, and I understand like there's like we're a real guilt-based society almost, or like shame. We have like shame ingrained in us or some shit. But that's why nobody wants to talk about it, bro. And that's why we don't really fucking heal. You know what I'm saying? And like, I got my beliefs on weed. Like, you know, I'd still think like people be heavy on that too. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to, because there's like the opposite shame where people are just like, oh, weed's not a fucking drug. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yeah, it's a drug, bro. It's like caffeine. Caffeine's a drug too. You know? So I think there's just multiple fucking angles where like it's just, people are like hella like aggressive on their stance and their beliefs, where, okay, now I'm paralyzed, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to get like ostracized, or I don't want to feel like or I don't want to be rude, you know what I'm saying? And it just is like leads to nowhere, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think, you know.
No, yeah, I can agree on the shame thing, because for the longest time for me too, it's like I didn't want anybody to know. You know, and it's like to shoot skills, like I don't think he knew. Like he knew that I was involved in other types of drugs other than weed, but he didn't know what it was, or because it like you're right, man. I was ashamed. I didn't want like somebody that wasn't in that life. Why am I gonna bring it to light to them? You know what I mean? At least for me, there's other people out there that I had met that were like in your face doing it, regardless whether you were in it or not. You know, so I guess that's how for me I kept it separate for some of my friends.
I got that.
But not everybody was like that, right? But yeah, so that was how I got into it and why I touch on that. But for me, what broke, I guess, when I went to jail, that's what broke me out of the habits, is because like I woke up and was like, oh shit, my kids are gonna be taken away from me, and like I'm pretty much done after this. You know, there's no more fucking up, or else I'm gonna go to prison.
Yeah, fuck that.
Forever,
okay,
you know.
Was that your first long like time or whatever? I don't know the slang, bro.
No, I don't even either. I just know I went to county. I did months. I didn't do years. I did months.
Oh, okay.
And that's all it took for me to be like, I'm never gonna do this again. I'm never gonna touch this place again.
How long were you addicted, if you don't mind?
Oh, dude, on and off since I was 13.
Damn.
Yeah. No.
God damn. Fuck, bro, that's crazy.
No, yeah, and my son right now is 14. Yeah. So like 13, I was hanging out with my uncles that were like in their teens. They were
Yeah.
18, 15,
Yeah, I can see
you know
that.
what I mean? And they were already getting into drugs. And at 13, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go hang out with the cool kids.
Yeah.
And it's funny because for me, it wasn't like, hey, man, let's take a hit of this weed. They're like straight up into like, let's take, at that time, it was a crank. So they're so they were smoking it out of a foil, and they're like, "Oh, you want some?"
Yeah.
So I didn't even. So my first drug outside of alcohol was actually crank. It was. I didn't even smoke weed first.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so like that kind of. Let me get on a real quick tangent. That kind of like reminds me of like I used to watch Blood In Blood Out when I was a kid, like a bunch. You know what I'm saying? Because we're from Idaho, and then I just see like the Chicano-ness in that movie and look up to it or whatever, you know. And I never really was like, I don't know, seeing it now, because I hadn't watched it for a long time. Seeing it now, I'm like, holy fuck, bro. Like when the little brother dies, I'm like, bro, I'm fucking devastated, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Oh, that's about to go.
I think. We're back.
All right, we're back. That whole thing, what you were saying about like your uncles and stuff, it reminds me of like, it just reminds me of like the fatherlessness epidemic that we have. You know what I'm saying? That's like I think that's like a root problem of like the majority of the problems that we have. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But just from what I've seen, like, I don't know if do you have your pops in your life? No, see what I'm saying? And so after 12, I didn't have my pops in my life. And he was a trucker, so I didn't have him, you know, I had him once a month. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like the trucking nowadays, you know. It was like real outlaw shit, right? Yeah. So, like, I think a lot of that has to do with, like, lack of guidance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's another part of the embarrassment that people are, like weird about talking about, you know what I'm saying? Because they're like, oh, you know, you start getting deep into the shit and you start realizing, oh, a lot of childhood trauma and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Because my life would have been completely fucking different if I had, you know, like my dad as my father figure. Because throughout the years, I looked for just different. I was like, fuck this. I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for my dad to get his head out of his ass. I got to look for motherfuckers that are going to teach me how to work. I got a lot of the hustle from my mom. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I don't know about. I don't think. Maybe I sound like a conservative here, but I don't think a lady really know how to like raise a man so type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion, but
so it goes back to Tupac. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So Tupac even in his song says you know when he's doing Dear Mama, he's like he finally realized like for a woman it ain't easy trying to raise a man. Trying. It's not. You know what I mean? I mean, shout out to all the moms that are out there doing it on their own. You know what I mean? But it's just like a single dad like myself going out there and raising these kids on my own. I'm not, and they are not gonna give you the same love or the same teachings as the opposite sex, right? Because that goes back to what we were saying off camera earlier. Life is a yin and yang. You know what I mean? We need tough love, but we also need a compassion from a woman, or vice versa. If the woman in your life is rough, but your dad is more compassionate, either way, you still have it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But once you go without one, you just become a whole nother person.
Exactly.
You know, and you can be like yourself and choose to seek out better help, or you can be like someone like me that was just, man, where's the cool guys at? You know, I was always trying to find the cool crowd, and didn't care about what kind of life lessons am I learning. I just rather like, all right, who are the cool people? Who can I hang out with? And then after that, it was like, all right, these cool people are doing drugs. Might as well do the drugs with them so I can be just as cool as them.
You must have been cool because I wasn't cool, bro. I wasn't fucking cool, dog. Like,
no. It wasn't even that I was trying to be cool. I was 34 years overweight. With glasses, man, me not having glasses and slimming down, dude, that's all new to me.
Okay.
No, I was always the guy that was trying to be cool, seeking the cool guys.
See, I wasn't even trying. I was just like, look, I'm gonna make these beats. Y'all do your thing. That's what's up. That's cool.
Cool guy.
You know, I'm just like here, bro. You know,
that's like the undercover cool guy that nobody knows. You know what I mean?
It's like bro. I definitely. That's why I preach like with the homies and shit. I'm like, hey man, like this fatherhood shit, like you got to fucking show up. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to bash single moms. I was raised by a single mom. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is like we need, you know, as children, we need both people, like, or more than one perspective and more than one, because we have two different people's DNA in this. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need guidance from both of them, and if you don't have that, then you need a tribe. But that's up to like the parent. That's why I say this parenthood shit needs to be like the utmost, like, taken serious. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think, at least with us, or at least with me, it just wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, and that I see that with a lot of my peers and a lot of people in my age group, where they just, you know, might have become aimless or you know, addicted and shit. And I'm like, man, it's just tragic. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they kind of failed us. You know what I'm saying? So I think going forward, we do need to, like, even though we didn't cause the problem, we still got to fucking break that cycle and get on it. Because if not, we're gonna fuck our own kids up. You know what I'm saying? So.
No, yeah, like for me, and then for me too. Hopefully, my kids watch this, and their kids watch this, and for me, I was watching like this seminar the other day where, like, if anything, your voice, your video or whatever, it's out there forever now. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put this down, and I'm never gonna erase what I put out there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm out there forever now. And I just want to, like you were saying, break the generational curse of okay, we're just repeating the cycle of these kids that don't know where they're going in life. You know what I mean? I felt so, for so many years, I felt so lost and didn't know guidance, and now I'm trying to go out here and find the guidance and get the peers that I didn't get when I was young. But while I do it, I want to show people that, hey, by networking with the right people, you can get somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not only that, but I'm trying to show my kids too. Like, hey, man, this guy absolutely, like, he's driving a shitty ass car. He's like barely making it in life, but he's still out here trying to chase his dream. You know what I mean? And for me, like, that's why I come out here and ask people, like, what made you break and finally want to chase your dream?
You said I got a shitty car. That's what you mean.
You said I got a shitty car.
No, I need to get a sticker on the back of my car that says my other car costs $250,000, or my other ride costs $250,000. Because, hey, bro, when I'm in my truck, it's not my truck, it's my company's truck, but you can't tell me shit, bro. It's a clean ass whip, like, to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I fucking love it. But no, I feel that, bro. That's good to instill on, you know, the next generation, whether they want to listen or not, because at least we can say we, like, fucking tried. You know what I'm saying? At least we tried. We said, you know, we're turning our back away from, like, complacency or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it sounds a little self-serving, but it's like, what do you want us to do? Just not? You know what I'm saying? No, we gotta get it, and we gotta pass that on. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was actually watching this TikTok thing earlier too. It's like, I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about, like, oh man, how many years have you been rich now? And the guy's answer was like, I've been rich for like 8 years. Okay. He's like, oh man, you're really out of touch with reality, because if you're out here and you know that your family's struggling, and you know that your outlook in life is a lot different than when you're rich. Because when you're rich, you think, yeah, why isn't anybody else out here figuring it out? They just need to get their shit together. While we're in it right now, we're like, fuck, man, we're getting our shit together. It's not the prettiest. Yeah. And let's, why not shine a light on the not so pretty stuff, you know what I mean? Because I don't know about you, but I feel it in myself that I'm going to go somewhere in life, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm going to document from when I had nothing to when I do have something. You know what I mean? You
were an addict. I'm not trying to, like, kiss your ass here, but you were an addict since 13? Yeah. And now you're not, and you're raising a couple kids by yourself. You've already gone somewhere, dog. Like type shit. That's where I see it. Like, not to get lazy or nothing, but, like, if I fucking died today, or if you died today, bro, nobody can tell you shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, look where I came from. So you've already gone. So, like that's dope to still, like, I feel like the same way, like, you know, because I was a bum for a long fucking time, just, like, sleeping on my mom's couch and shit, like, you know, whatever. And until I got my CDL, that's when my life changed, whatever. But you know, just trying to make it with rap, and I'm still trying to do rap and shit, but, like, nobody can tell me shit, bro. Like, my wife didn't work for, like, years. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just supporting, her and my first son. You know what I'm saying? She want to go back to work and do her thing, but she don't need to. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like where people are like, "Oh, just get your shit together." Well, finish the story, bro. My bad. I be doing that shit.
No, you're good. That was kind of it, really.
Yeah.
And that's like man, I don't know how many different answers I can give, but this is part of the reason why I do the podcast. You know what I mean? Okay. Is to not only like just to inspire the next generation or the people that are still like, how can I figure this out, man? Just go out there and do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And to get other people's outlooks on what that took. You know what I mean?
Well, I think my outlook on just get out there and get it. I think there's a lot of job shaming. I think during even me, bro, I got stuck in like the Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone circle, like a cyclical thing, where I was just like, oh, if I'm not fucking working for myself or whatever, like I'm nobody or nothing. And that actually, for me, that kept me a bum for a long time because I was like, I don't want to fucking work no job. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I like now I'm just like, nah, bro, you got to get it by, if you say you're going to get it by any means, that means getting in the fuck, like being a delivery guy. It means fucking, flipping burgers. It means fucking, pulling weeds. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you really about that, it doesn't mean fucking, you can have those goals to, to be your own boss and shit like that. But if you're a real hustler, you gonna fucking get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that like little area in our generation or our life was like hella toxic, bro. Because I think it stopped a lot of people from reaching their potential because they just decided like. And shout out Gary Vee. Like I fuck with Gary Vee still. Yeah, dude, I fucking love Gary Vee. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think it did like kind of. It gave people the vision, but not the tools. You know what I'm saying? Because like, look at Gary Vee. He was fucking working for his dad until he was like 30. 30 something until he got his YouTube channel and shit. Like, and he says that, but I think people were just like, oh, he's VaynerMedia, blah blah blah, or there's Grant Cardone is in a fucking jet or whatever. Yeah. Who else is there? Like Tony Robbins or whatever, like type shit. So like, and I'm not trying to bash that either, but I do think like people need to chill out with the fucking like, oh, 9 to 5 is bullshit. No, bro, it's not bullshit. It's income, bro. Get it. You know what I'm saying? If you can do your own business, that takes a lot of discipline because you're your worst and your best employee. Because I was self-employed. Well, self-employed. I was just self-employed for a couple years. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I was my worst employee a lot more than I was my best. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I think that shit needs to chill, you know. Yeah,
but you were a young age, right? You're barely 31 right now, right? Yeah. So man, shout out to you for starting all these businesses and all these adventures at an early age. You know what I mean? And you're still going through whatever you're going through right now and pushing through it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which goes back to my next question, I guess. Right now, what is it that you're doing currently?
So I spent a lot of years. I'm trying to rap, which is like kind of dumb. Well, I don't know. People might see it as dumb because I'm like 30 or whatever, but I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I spent the last 10 years playing like sideline or background for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of engineering, and I don't regret none of it. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like, setting myself up to push myself to be like front and center. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm still learning a lot, but I'm just like, I have all this experience in life now. I want to put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Because before I would just do like a lot of battle raps and a lot of like money raps and brag raps. But I'm like, I don't want to do that shit no more. I'll still do it here and there. But like, I have something to actually say now. Mm-hmm. So like, not like conscious rap or nothing like that. But it's just like, I got something to actually say. I want to like put that out there as like to leave that to my boys. Because they're going to listen to all my shit where I was just talking all my shit. Because I'm a good rapper. At least I think, you know what I'm saying? I'm a good rapper and I can hold that, bro. I'm a good rapper and I can fucking like, do a bunch of flows and I'm a good lyricist. But it's like, I wasn't really saying much. I was just saying like, I'm a good rapper 1,000 times. Mm-hmm. But now I got something to say. So I'm like, now I'm just trying to set myself up. So there's the rap shit. And then there's Deep West, which is kind of like a side project where, it's really just an Instagram page where I'm just sharing people's music that I think is dope from a specific area, which would be like Idaho as like the center, Montana, Utah, Wyoming, Western Colorado, and Eastern Oregon and Washington, which I call the Deep West. It's kind of like a play on like the Deep South. You know how there's a South with like Texas and Florida. You know.
What up? It's your boy Black Sauce. Unfortunately, the rest of that interview got cut off, but we're gonna have a part 2 with AC Delgado. So a couple announcements. Plug Talk is gonna be getting a revamp. I'm giving an opportunity for other small businesses and entrepreneurs to get their name put out there. So if you or you know anybody that wants to have a little advertisement at the end, get a hold of me, man. And not only that, we could talk about having you as a guest on the podcast as well. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying these, maybe getting some inspiration. That's the purpose of all these. But yeah, man, hopefully you guys have a good weekend. Remember, drink your water, stay blessed, and inspire and create, you know. Yeah, that's all for me. Black Sauce out.
How's it going, everybody? Black Sauce here. Now we've reached to the part of my podcast where we go through Plug Talk. That is a shout out to a few businesses around the Magic Valley area. If you mention to them that you heard it from my podcast, they will hook you up. Kimry's Recovery in Twin Falls. Just let them know that I sent you. Man, they really did help me through my addiction. They continue to help me. I do their alumni program on Thursdays evenings, where I can go and just share what I got going on. Also, I have Seth Hill over in Jerome, over at the liquidation store. He's offering 30% discount off any stock California mattress. Over at Ruby Mountain Motors, I have Greg. If you purchase a vehicle through him, it's the one on Blue Lakes. If you purchase a vehicle through him, I'll give you a $50 gift card if you tag me and mention that you heard it from my podcast. Also, over at Premier on Poline, if you go through Sam and purchase a vehicle, I will also do a $50 gift card towards you. If you go over to Jerome, over at Downpour Digs, it's a boot store, brand new. If you mention that you heard it from my podcast, any boot in that store is $10 off. Also, if you go over to Muscle Sport and order any other protein, any apparel, at the end when you're checking out, if you type in my code VALE and 941, again that's VALE 941. Type that in, you'll get a 10% discount. Again, thanks for listening. If you or anybody that you know wants to be mentioned at the end, get a hold of me through any of my social medias, and then we can discuss on maybe getting your business a shout out. Anyways, I hope you guys have a blessed day. Thanks again.